Times leads with the headline, "Police have given up on punishing shoplifters." The paper says analysis of official figures shows that the majority of police forces didn't issue a single penalty for shoplifting over the year to March. The Home Secretary has reportedly said that the shameful neglect of shoplifting must end.
But first, an exclusive and damning report on how a majority of crime victims in England and Wales don't believe reporting an offence will lead to justice. ITV News has been shown a landmark report from the Victims Commissioner, which highlights the growing crisis within the criminal justice system. It heard the experiences of thousands of victims and found widespread dissatisfaction with the response of police, prosecutors and the courts. It was particularly bad for people with disabilities. The Victims Commissioner told us that change is needed and people deserve better. Our correspondent, Sejal Karia, has our special report.
Britain is in the grip of a shoplifting epidemic, and this convenience store is one of those on the front line.
We've been attacked verbally and physically. I myself was bottled quite recently. When I tried to confront them and retrieve them, they'd use the bottles to smash us.
Owner Ben is fighting a losing battle against an ever more brazen band of shoplifters who target his store up to 10 times a day. Emboldened, Ben says, by a lack of police action. He feels he has no choice but to confront the thieves himself. He's losing hundreds of pounds of stock a week and faith in the authorities.
We do have to fend for ourselves. We had an incident where £50 of goods were stolen. The perpetrators, one of them was caught outside. We had CCTV, but the police decided not to take anything further because, in their words, it was not in the public interest. So more often than not, we don't actually bother to report these incidences now. When we confront shoplifters, they look at us like, "What are you doing? I'm not going to give the goods back. What are you going to do? Police ain't going to come."
And he's far from alone. A new landmark survey by the Victims Commissioner, shown exclusively to ITV News, reveals a devastating lack of confidence in police and the wider criminal justice system. Over 3,000 victims were surveyed across England and Wales in the largest study carried out by the Commissioner's office. Shockingly, 73% said they weren't confident reporting a crime would lead to justice. Of those who did, 40% said they were dissatisfied with the police response. And worryingly, despite being more likely to be victims of crime, almost half of disabled victims said they too were dissatisfied with the response and were less likely to report again.
I think they must feel dreadful, so disillusioned, disbelieved. If a person's been raped or sexually abused or been harmed, a domestic abuser, for somebody in authority that you think I can go and report to doesn't believe you, they will feel internally that actually they're guilty, it must be something wrong about them, and they'll have no confidence within a system that should be there to protect them, listen to them and treat them with dignity.
Baroness Helen Newlove became a campaigner for victims after her husband Gary was beaten to death outside their home in Warrington by youths vandalising her car. Do you find that the police are failing victims?
Yes, and I think the time has come is to actually look at the culture alongside the policies, treat them with respect and give their voice some gravity and listen to what they're saying.
We had nails in our tyre. We were followed down the street at night. He tried to grab us over the fence and he tried to be inappropriate. He was trying to kill us emotionally, to crush us in every sense because we dared to say no.
For years, Amy's been abused, harassed and intimidated by her neighbour, targeted for being disabled and being part of the LGBTQ+ community. Despite numerous complaints, police investigations have gone nowhere. And how would you sum up the police response?
Inadequate, incompetent, defensive. It felt as though our safety was just, if I called 999, no one would come. That's how it felt. ICI could have had a major wound and no one would have showed. That's how it felt. It felt like they just didn't care about my life.
Would you feel comfortable phoning 999 and reporting a crime today?
No, and I probably wouldn't. It's not worth it. They don't listen.
These findings come against a backdrop of worsening crime detection rates, record court backlogs and overflowing prisons. Victims feel forgotten and say they are systematically being failed. This report is sounding the alarm for reform and change before even more victims lose faith in the criminal justice system. Sejal Karia, ITV News.